Bliss and juiciness, my loves. Welcome to the Lighthouse podcast. I am Goddess Qadesh, your lighthouse keeper. Thank you so much for joining me today at the Lighthouse podcast, where we bring you your spiritual weather, a message, a lesson, a beacon, and always a meditation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you do not know who I am, get to know me, get familiar. I am Goddess Kadesh, mental health priestess, sacred sex educator, energy healer, spiritual life mentor, birth and sex doula, cannabis advocate, and co owner of Fire and Water Metaphysical Wellness Center here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, where my mother is my business partner. And just so you know, Fire and Water is the only metaphysical wellness center in the world. Come check us out, y'all. There's always something amazing going on in here. You can follow us on IG and Facebook and TikTok at fire.water or fire_water. That's FYREWATA. Please bear with me, y'all. I'm always smoking, so they always hating. We have two different pages. Today's episode, I'm excited to share with you because it is April, and April is known as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Excuse me. Early on in my career, I began with counseling and therapizing people who had an experience with sexual assault and or childhood molestation. And so my passion is here. I too have an experience with childhood molestation and rape. And because it's April, I decided I wanted to share with you all my story. This story was recorded back in June of 2018. And so this is a debut. There are two parts to this story. There is the first day and the second day. Today, you guys are going to be graced with the first day. Join me as I take a deep dive into my experience with childhood molestation and how I felt about it and what was going on for me. So I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to my story and to take some time to reflect on your own. Please know that there is a trigger warning. Some details are shared and just emotions may arise in you. And so, if you happen to need me, you are more than welcome to reach out. You can send me a DM on social media or shoot me an email at Qadesh, QADESH, at firewater.com. FYREWATA. All right. So, here we go. Trigger warning. I love you, and I'll be back.
Hello, everyone. We're outside. It is Mischelle Brown and Miss Akira, aka Qadesh, aka High Priestess.
AKA my mama call me Kiki.
Ooh, and Brian call you Kakira.
Yes.
Where's Brian? I love that kid. What we're talking about today is I have been curious to know about your story around being raped as a baby. And we can call you're going to call it however you feel it. I feel like we have a similar story, but I never knew your details, and now I want to know your details if you're willing to share. So with that being said, you were a little kid. What happened?
Well, I always, whenever someone asks what happens, I always go back to the first memory I have. I remember that's the first memory I have of my stepdad actually being in the room, like me waking up to him on top of me. So that's my first memory of that.
Interesting. And then how did that come about? If in your little mind, like, hi, stepdad, you know what I'm saying? Does he hold your hand a lot? Is he really a loving kind of guy?
Oh, he's very loving.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because my mother was married. This is my mother's second husband. Okay. So my mother was married to my father, and So my father ended up, having another family.
Okay.
So when she met my stepdad, he was very,
Like
loving
daddy.
and
Got it.
dad, right? And I was only 2 or 3 years old when
Okay.
they met.
Okay.
So I was really little, and he was like dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was very loving,
Okay.
very, very much so.
Okay.
Took good care of me.
Okay.
Like, he did. He spoiled me. I was the only girl also.
Got it.
So, and he had my mother, my little brother, that's their last child.
Got it.
That's their child together.
Okay.
So yeah, he was nice to me. But I can't say, so I don't know that, I always got special treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I can't say when it started. I
What
think,
special treatment? Tell me about that.
well, I'm the only girl. So
And
I
so-
always got my own room.
By everybody. Everybody's loving the baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got my own room. I got new clothes all the time.
Okay.
Dolls, like I had like so many Cabbage Patch Kids,
Okay. And what does your room look like here, differently than the other one?
Oh God! So my mom was so like, I'm her only girl. She bought me this beautiful canopy bed.
Ooh, you are loved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Every girl's dream.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful canopy bed with pink little frillies and
Mhm.
all that shit.
And you loved it.
Yeah. But I
What color
remember
were you?
my papa dying, and my mother not being home. So that's what I remember
Interesting.
mostly. And then I also remember, so that's why I correlate that, because like I also had this dream, like, and I don't know if it's at the same time, like, I'm experiencing my, dad in here on me, but like I have this dream of like having my papa's casket at the foot of my bed, and I don't know, it was just, I always correlate those two times.
Together.
Yes.
So the casket at the bed, and then you're waking up to your dad, stepdad.
On top of me.
And what does that look like? Tell me, walk me through that. What does that mean?
Well, I don't know, but I just remember waking up and being confused and like angry. Like I was mad. But you know what's funny actually when I think about it right now? Like it doesn't feel like it was the first time. I remember being mad and confused, but I don't remember feeling surprised.
Ah!
Yeah. As I get older, well, still 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like after the first, like what I always call the first incident, waking up to him on top of me, associating that with my grandfather dying. That time frame. Like as time went on, my mother used to do like night school. She used to go to school. So I guess we were just home with him a lot. But like he used to do things like we'd be playing hide and seek in the house, and like he'd have me hide in the bed under the covers, and so no one could find me. But I'd be playing with his dick.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened,
And the memory with the casket, what was that? You have a feeling of him inside of you then? He's naked. What's going on with that?
I don't have a feeling of him inside of me, but I just have a feeling of wanting to stick needles in the head of his penis.
All right now. Little Kiki's like, I'm tired. I'm done with this.
But I do not know if he's inside of me. I don't remember, because even as, time goes on, like we moved to another house.
Okay.
I think maybe it was not inside of me though. Maybe not. Just because I remember, I mean, as I got older, it happened a lot more.
Okay.
Like, well, that I can remember,
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, it's more of me going in his bedroom instead of him coming into mine. He probably stopped coming into my bedroom, I think, when my mom got this certain job. Like, she was working like crazy hours, like 4 or 5 in the morning, and not getting off till like 4 or 5 in the evening. So like, especially in the summertime, like he watched us a lot. He worked, but like he was always getting hurt at work. So during times like that, I don't even really know when those times were. But I would be going more so into his room. So it'd be like early in the morning when everyone's still sleeping.
And how do you know to go there? Is he calling you?
No. I'm just going there.
Okay. When do you have a moment of time remembering when he came into your room and then the contract was made or the negotiation, whatever language we want to say, that you now go to his room?
We never talked about what we were doing.
Never?
Never. He never said anything to me about what he was doing. I was never told not to tell. None of that. None of that. He never said nothing.
Okay.
There was no conversation about what was happening. So, I don't know. I mean, there would be things like, he would do, like at night before I would go to bed, like I'd be in the room with them.
With your mom and stepdad?
Mm-hmm. And I'd be like sitting like on the floor in between his lap, and like he'd clean my ears out with Q-tips and shit like that. And my mom be sitting, right there, no big deal.
And did your stepdad and mom, were they sexually active? As far as you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
We heard them have sex.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And would you equate what in your memories? Is he having sex with you too? Is that what is the same thing happening with you?
I don't think I thought that until one time. I don't know where anyone is. I couldn't even tell you where my brothers are. But I'm in his bedroom. Like, so I would go sneak into the room. He'd pretend like he was asleep. So I'd go into the room. He'd pretend like he's asleep. I'd sneak under the covers, and I'd play with his dick. And I'd get on top, and I'd hunch him until I orgasm. And he'd act like he'd be asleep. But he'd moan and all that shit. But still keep his eyes closed, never look at me. And one time, we're doing this, and my friend came over. I'm probably like 10. And my friend came over from down the street. And we had this, my parents had this rule that they had to use the back door. So she's knocking on the back door, but no one's answering, because I'm fucking my dad. Mm-hmm. And I guess no one's home. And she ends up coming to the side of the house, at the window, and I guess she hears us. And she yells my name. And so, like, we stop. I go answer the door or whatever, and she says, "Are your parents home?" And I said, "No." And I think that is the first time that I realized that we were having sex.
Because she didn't say, "Are your parents home having sex?" She just said, "Are your parents home?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Well,
so
why?"
She said, "Is your mom home?" She said, "Is your mom home? Is your mom home?" That's what she said.
And you said no, and then you go,
right. That's when I realized.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And when you're on is his penis getting hard? Like he's flaccid? And
oh yeah, no, it's hard.
Okay.
It's hard. It's hard. I used to play with it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. He used to do this, sometimes he would not wake up. Like, so, like, even though he wouldn't open his eyes, he would moan. He would participate.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'd go in, and he wouldn't participate. Like, he wouldn't get hard.
Ah.
But then he'd get up from me trying, like, so I would stop trying and leave out. But he'd get up and go. Well, no, I wouldn't leave out. I'd stop trying, lay on the bed. He will get up and go into the bathroom and use the bathroom, leave the door cracked, and he would masturbate into the sink.
Shut the door. Okay.
And I would watch him from the door. And still, we never said anything.
Okay. That's pretty profound, yeah? So after your friend came over, did you stop participating? Or was it just a recognition at that point?
I think it was a recognition. I really don't remember. Let me think about that. Maybe it's probably when I began to. That may have been when I began to get mad about it.
Why did you pick? Why was he mad? And I mean the emotion. If it felt good, yes.
It did feel good, but it didn't feel like my choice. So like most of the times, like especially when younger. Now getting older, it felt like my choice.
Okay.
You know, going into the room, but the memories of him coming into my bedroom and. You know, like I just have memories of my breasts being touched. Like it's really difficult sometimes for me to have my breasts touched. I'm awful being touched out of my sleep. Like, so it just, that waking up to it was angering. That was really what was angering. But I don't know, but there were things, I can't even tell you, like, I don't remember chronologically.
Okay.
You know?
You're like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're like 4, then there's maybe 8.
I remember it being little and going to the doctor, and the doctor's looking at my vagina. I've got to be like 5 or 6. I'm little.
Okay.
My mom and the doctor go out the room. But no one ever tells me why they're looking at my vagina.
Right. Because why would they, right? Your mom say, hey, let's go to the doctor? Or is it just a regular physical to get into kindergarten? It's just a memory.
Being at the doctor.
Isn't that something?
And them looking at my vagina.
And then going out of the room, and then come back in and just,
Let's go.
Wow, okay. Isn't that, wow.
So, I don't know if I was penetrated. Like, I can't ever tell, you know? I can tell you this. So they were going through their shit. He probably didn't. I think it stopped when my friend. I think that's a good marker. It's probably why I remember it like that.
Got it.
Because I think it stopped.
Okay.
Because I was like understanding.
Ah.
And then I wasn't seeking him out.
So you didn't go to his room anymore. Okay.
And then a lot of shit was happening with him and my mom. And so he had moved out, like things were happening. He was cheating on my mom. Like a lot of things were happening. So I don't think he tried to touch me or anything for a couple of years. It was also the same time that my cousin came. She had come and stayed with us for like a year. And she says he never did anything to her.
Okay.
But when I got 13, well 12, so I'm 12. I'm in the 8th grade.
In 8th grade.
7th grade. I'm in the 7th grade.
Okay.
Yes, I'm in the 7th grade, so I'm like 12. And him and my mom are separated. And I have a boyfriend and stuff. My brother has a girlfriend. First person I ever told that this was happening was to this boyfriend that I had.
Okay.
He's a little he's like 14. I'm like 12. So yeah, he's like 9th grade.
Okay.
I'm in 7th grade. And I told him, what was happening. That was because that's the first time I'm telling somebody I had sex with my fucking dad. And he's telling me that that's wrong. Offering to kill him. He's like this little 14-year-old thug gangbanger. He's from Oakland. Like, we're not quite from Oakland.
Right.
We're from Hayward.
Right.
So
right.
he's got to catch the BART to get to me. So he's like this
He is from Oakland. Okay.
Right. He's
That's
really
fine.
from Oakland. So he's like, I'll kill that nigga. He's 14. I'm 12. But I'm like, no, you don't have to kill him. So my first time I have sex with this boyfriend, sex was amazing. It didn't hurt. It did not hurt at all. One of my favorite movies to watch So yeah, this is when. So I think it stopped when I find out I'm fucking my dad.
Okay.
But I'm horny.
Yes.
And so I'm masturbating a lot. And so I used to watch Boys in the Hood sex scenes and Jungle Fever.
With the light skin.
That very first scene, they have some good ass scenes though.
Yes.
So those were I masturbated to those movies all the time. So I'm always masturbating at this time. So I'm like 10, 11, 12, at this time I'm horny. So I'm constantly masturbating. And then I get this boyfriend.
Okay.
And before that, I used to do all kind of crazy shit. Like, we used to live on this block that was full of kids. And I'm sexual though.
Yeah.
I'm sexual. I've been fucking now, you know? So I'm a sexual 9, 10, 11-year-old. And I'm also overweight. Very big. I'm a big girl.
Okay.
I'm like wearing a C bra. I can wear my mom's bra, C cup bra. But I'm also attracted to grown men. And so I like the boy up the street, but I also liked his daddy.
All right now.
And so me and my friend are calling him on three-way. I'm like 11, and we're calling him on three-way. I had to be 6th grade. We called him on three-way. No one answered. Just back in the day when they had answering machines. You think you clicked off, but we're still on the fucking answering machine. And girl, I am talking about this boy's daddy's dick.
Ooh.
And can you see his dick in his pants when he be outside washing his car? And we are like 11. And the next day, that boy comes up to me. He is trying to beat my ass because he got in trouble because I left this message on his voicemail talking about his daddy's dick.
All right now. Whew. That's funny.
Yeah.
And who got the message? The mama?
I don't know.
Because if he got the message, he probably wouldn't have said nothing. The mama got the message. Because the daddy would have been like, dude, I don't know. That's funny.
That shit was funny.
And did he stop talking to him then?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I started talking to his cousin. I was wild. So, and I wasn't having sex though.
Okay.
Not yet with the boys, but so I started talking to his cousin. My first kiss was his cousin.
Okay.
And then I moved on to one of their best friends.
Okay, right on.
That was one of my little boyfriends. And then I liked his older brother. Girl, I used to be on the phone with him and his brother. They'd be like, it's my turn to talk.
Were they masturbating to you?
I don't know.
That's funny.
What their mother used to do, because they were poor. They didn't have a lot of money. So their mother used to have to do an emergency break because, see, they could be on the phone all night. My mother used to spoil us, so this is the thing.
Okay.
We had our own phone line.
Yes.
So 11 years old, I've got my own phone in my room. And so I'm on the phone with these dudes all night because their mother's a nurse. She works nights. They supposed to be asleep. Right. So we on the phone all night. She trying to call and check on them, make sure they in the bed. Her line is busy. So we get emergency breakthroughs because she's trying to get in. So they used to get in trouble being on the phone with me all night.
Wow, look at you. I like that.
Yeah, and that was brothers.
Love it. Love it. So they're like, ooh, you the one.
Girl, that was so funny. And when I really began to get pissed off at my stepfather is because, so at this time, I think I'm wanting to have sex because I'm horny. I've already been sexual. I'm only 11 or 12. I'm not in 7th grade yet.
Okay.
And this boy, the brother that I like, he's older. He's in the 7th grade, so he's already at middle school. So he used to come over to my house after school, and we would be kissing in the front. And one day my stepdad comes outside and he makes me come in the house, and I got in trouble. I don't know if I got a whooping, but I think I got a whooping.
Wow.
I think I got a whooping. I'm pretty goddamn sure I got a whooping. Yes, and was told don't be in the front kissing nobody and all that. And the main thing in my head was, fuck you, you're not supposed to be fucking me. Girl, that was when I was officially
okay.
mad.
Right.
I was mad. So actually, when I think about it, it was my fault that he didn't live with us anymore, because he was cheating on my mom. And my mother came home one day. They came home. She was crying and they were yelling. They're walking in the door. And she said, "This motherfucker just took me to the park and beat my ass." So I called 911.
All right.
And he went to jail. And that night, he moved out. Like, so he went to jail, but when he got out, he got his own place.
Okay.
And he took my little brother with him.
Did you ever tell him? Did you guys ever have a conversation like, any conversation like, dude, I recognize that you have been sleeping with me since I was whatever, and I'm not happy with it. I'm happy with it. Was there any closure with that?
No.
How do you feel about that?
So the way it ended was we moved to another house. So they broke up.
Okay.
They separated.
Okay.
We moved to another house, and like I said, I had got the boyfriend, and the boyfriend and I had started having sex. But oh God, I have such a long story, because one thing, sex felt really good, but after sex, it burned. My entire pussy burned, and that happened up until I was like 20.
What do you think that means?
Well, as I became a goddamn sex therapist, I understood it was the vaginismus, but maybe I was being penetrated.
What is the vaginismus?
Pain with sex, and it's usually from trauma. Yeah. So it would always burn like a motherfucker. Oh, that happened for years. But anyway.
Is it psychological? Or
it is psychological.
It is. So the yoni is saying something.
Yes. It is psychological. It is psychological. I didn't learn that it was psychological and all of that until I was like in my 20s though. And
it can only be psychological because literally you've been like the yoni wouldn't make that up.
Right. So I think that is how I know then. I was more than likely penetrated.
Okay, more than once.
Oh yeah. Well, because like I said, my first time of having sex was amazing.
No pain, no nothing, no blood in the sheets, nothing.
None of that.
Okay, and the little dude was like, "Oh yeah," because you were good at what you were doing.
Yeah,
it
was good. Yeah, it was so good too. I mean, I orgasmed. Yeah, like it was amazing.
Okay,
it was great fucking sex. But my stepdad was there. He had come back.
Okay, what? And said what?
He had come back to live with us.
Okay.
And so, but I had a boyfriend, and so like one night, me and my brother switched rooms, and he had just come back.
Okay.
So like this is probably like, I don't know, probably the same day that I had first had sex.
Okay.
Really. And that night, because he had just come back, you know what? I was testing it, because I'm like, fuck you.
So you knew.
That's right. I was mad.
Okay.
So I'm like, fuck you. He had just come back, and I was mad at my mom. I let him back. So I had my boyfriend come over, and we fucked in the closet, and he was in the room, and
he was in your bedroom,
not my bedroom, in his room.
Okay.
And yeah, but I did that out of spite.
Okay.
And so that night, me and my brother switched rooms, and my stepdad came still into my brother's room.
He knew you switched rooms.
Right, like how the fuck did you? So I had this setup, like I wanted to switch rooms because I'm like, I didn't trust, I don't know, I was just like,
you knew.
I don't want to be in my room. So we switched rooms. He still came into the fucking room.
Did he go into your room first?
I don't know, because I was asleep. It was middle of the night like he used to do when I was little.
And did he?
He got into the bed with me. And he used to do this thing where he'd get into the bed and he'd just start like hunching on me. And he always act like he was asleep though. He always act like he's sleepwalking or some shit.
Girl, okay. And so this time, did you say anything?
No. But because he always acts asleep. I turn around, he act like he's asleep. So I push him out the bed. And it's heavy, so I gotta push him hard. I push him hella hard out the bed. And I think he hit his head because my brother had this little nightstand. And then so he lays on the floor for a minute. And he's butt ass naked. And he gets up and he goes into the other room. Or back into the room.
Wherever.
Yeah. And then that morning though, I wake up really early, like, because it's one of the things that we used to do. I wake up really early in the morning and he's in the bathroom and he's masturbating in the sink. And I look at him in the mirror though. and we look at each other, and then you fucking close the door.
First time.
Yeah.
And then any more after that? Was that it? That was it.
I was pissed though, and that's why I looked at him.
Yeah. Like how? Yeah, bastard, or whatever language, whatever energy you were feeling.
And at that time, I was 13.
Okay.
Or 12. I was 12. Nope, I was 12. I wasn't 13 because I hadn't even made it to 8th
Okay.
grade. It was like summer. Yeah, it was like still 7th grade.
Isn't that something? Would you characterize you having a like? Do you feel like it was a relationship? I saw the movie Tail, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, Coach was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good.
Ooh, he worked her like I'm a grown up and I'm a woman and all that.
He didn't do me like that in a sexual manner. He did things like let me drive. So like 9 years old, 10 years old, I could drive to the corner store. My mom used to get so mad.
Did you when you were talking about having a relationship with your stepdad, is it still considered a relationship, or is it more like, damn, I was raped by my dad, so my mind is conceiving it as a relationship for...
That's why that movie was so interesting to me.
Tell me.
Yeah, because just like, okay, at the end of the movie, right, her as the girl, the teenager in high school, she's like, bitch, that's how I fucking got through. Don't you tell me I'm a goddamn victim. I'm a survivor, and fuck you. He sent me letters and blah, 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 blah. After, you bitch, I chose.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Like, she should be able to have that. Fine, come to the understanding that you didn't. You were still manipulated as a child. But, truthfully, your inside of you chose.
And I love how she had a vision of her being 15. And then when she's as an adult going through, she sees a 13-year-old baby. She's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait.
Right.
Like, that wasn't as glorious as I thought it to be. Yeah. So the little baby, Qadesh, really worked it out to survive it. And would you do it now? Could you sit with him now and say, can we talk about this?
I have thought about that.
Would you let me record it? I think I would love... Okay. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't say I'm agreeing to that, Mischelle, nor did I. No, you can't record it. But if you ever felt inspired, would you be interested in having that conversation? Have you ever asked him?
I've never asked him.
How come?
And I've seen him recently. My mother will still talk to him every once in a while.
Do you have anger with him?
I don't.
Is it anything to relive? Just for research sake, for yourself?
I would like to talk to him, but honestly, I feel like I don't want to fucking be disappointed either.
Well, how would you be disappointed?
If this nigga act like he don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, you saw Bill in the movie. He's like, you're lying.
Right.
You're lying. She's like, it doesn't matter though if he... Then you know he's no... Then when I was looking at the movie, I'm like, you know what you were doing. Your shit has just got busted in front of public.
You knew you were wrong.
And for a minute, I felt so sad for him. For like 30 seconds, I'm like, oh, why are you busting him out in the middle of his little award thing? And I thought, fuck that. I said.
Fuck him.
Right.
Yeah, I've thought about if I wanted to talk to him.
When you're counseling other folk, do you suggest that they do that?
I think they should make their own decision.
Okay.
I think it should be based on what you want to get out of it.
What would you want to get out of it if you did?
That's the thing. I'm not looking for anything.
Okay. Do we as survivors have a responsibility to protect others if we know something could happen to them? I'm asking you personally, like if I know my track coach is a molester, is it important that I tell all the young ladies that he's coaching, he could actually end up taking you to bed?
Yes, I do. And that's the reason why I say, and maybe that's why I continue to stay unknown, so that I don't have to be responsible. But yeah, I mean, actually, as a therapist, that is why I stay in the unknown.
Really?
Because if I don't know, I'm not responsible.
Oh, so right now with that you might have had that revelation before, but that realization, how's that make you feel?
Selfish.
Okay.
Of course. Just as long as it takes me to tell the story. selfish. You know, I'll go and do all sorts of therapy and I don't tell what I'm doing, you know?
And why is that, you think?
Because I think I forget how helpful like my you can be. You know, and what I've experienced. I'm always looking at what someone else experienced and how that could be helpful.
Versus your own.
Right. But one of the things that I think is different about the childhood long-term piece, like what happened in the tale. When it is over and over again, even, you know, and you're like developing as a child, it's almost like a conditioning. Like there's a girl who tells her story, but her own biological father started raping her. He started showing her porn and shit at the age of 12.
Wow.
So here she's already pissed. Because she's 12 and she already knows you're not fucking supposed to be fucking me. You know, she's 12 years old. But when you've got, like how this little girl fell in love with that, when I've got this father who is taking care of me, like I'm not even looking at it, like I am angry, but I'm not connecting because there's no conversation either. So I'm not even connecting the anger to the act.
What about right now?
Am I connecting the anger to the act? Yeah. I'm not like physically angry, but yeah, it's connected to the act now.
I mean, like, that's why I was angry. It wasn't because I was getting breasts or homework.
I was angry because I was being fucked without my permission. And then even more angry that I was seeking it, and then even more angry that I was in trouble for going to get it not from you. Like, like those are the things. Like it wasn't like it was all of the things that began to happen around it that were fucking me up. If that makes sense.
Yeah, all kinds
because
of
it was the development of it. You know, I don't know how different it would look if it were an uncle touched me, but I never see, you know, he never touched me again, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I'd function differently, but like at the point, that's why I came up with the affair, but really it would be whore. Like my stepfather made me his whore. Not he had an affair with me.
A little different, huh?
Right, it's different, but I'm very grateful to understand it differently. I am grateful to see it in a different way, because even though I did have sexual pleasure, you know, the confusion that came with it was
something.
It was big.
And then I love how the connection that when I would masturbate, I'd hear my mom's voice of scolding.
Yes.
Like every time I get pleasure, there's this mama voice that's going.
Because she would say no sex. You are not allowed to have sex. That's what she would tell me. You are not allowed to have sex. And if you screw, you get pregnant. Those were my sex talks. Right.
And is this conversation today doing anything for you?
Oh. Not yet.
And have you had this conversation with yourself over and over again, and this is the first time you're saying it out loud?
This whole conversation that we're having?
Yes.
I can never get this far. It's not easy to get this far by myself.
Trust me, no, I'm right there.
Yeah,
I'm right there.
I end up
going like,
yeah.
I want some ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Like that.
I could be doing a lot of other things right now. So no. I think. You know what? I think, this was really good to have this conversation.
Okay. I appreciate it.
All right. Oh my gosh. Welcome back. I hadn't watched that story previous to the day after or the days after recording it, up until today when I decided to edit it for this podcast. So, you know, I'm happy where I am in my mental health space now. Um, you'll get a sneak peek into part two as to how I dealt with telling that story and some of the things that came out from sharing the story that day. But I wanted to still offer you the opportunity to meditate with me. I don't ever want to end without an opportunity to tap in. So if you found yourself triggered, um, or if you found yourself not triggered and wondering why you're not triggered, or if you found that this was a useful thing, however you feel, I want to give you the opportunity to sit with it, to sit with me. And we're just going to practice some breathing. When we practice breath work, it's always about taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling up the lungs and the belly until no more air can reach the bottom of your belly. And then taking a slight pause of one, two, and a release. When you release that air, let it all out, so much so that you'll feel your belly begin to suck in towards your spine. And when it can no longer suck in, you'll go ahead and inhale again. Nice, deep, full breath. And I just want to show you these breaths because this is a breath you can do at any given moment. Anytime you feel triggered, anytime you feel anxious, anytime you feel out of alignment, taking nice, slow, deep breaths can help you get back into alignment and back into your body. So get comfortable in your seat, your feet comfortably on the floor, your bottom comfortably in your seat. And if you can also be sitting, you can be sitting you can be sitting doggy style. It's my preferable sitting position. You can be sitting cross-legged on the floor, or you can be sitting in a chair, whatever is comfortable to you. Having your hands in your lap, um, your left hand sitting on top of your right, shoulders nice and straight. The way you can make sure they're straight is by giving a shrug up towards your ears, rolling them back. There we go. Good. So just inhale with me. Nice inhale in. At the top of that breath, hold. 1, 2, release. Pushing all that air out as your belly sinks into your spine. Deep breath in. Hold. Release. In. Hold. 1, 2, release. Inhale. Hold. One, two, release. In. Fill up those lungs until you can breathe no more. Hold. One, two, release. Good. Deep breath in. Hold. One, two, release. Good. Deep breath in. Hold. One, two, release. Good. Deep breath in. Hold. One, two, release. Good. And let's just breathe normal for a moment. Nice deep inhales. Exhales. Regular inhale. Exhale. Let your body relax. Bring your attention to any place that you feel tension in your body and just notice it. No need to judge it. Just notice it. No need to analyze it. Just notice where it's tight. It may be more than one place. Take notice. If you feel yourself itch, take notice. Don't scratch. Good. Breathe into where that tightness is. And exhale, releasing all the tightness in that area. Good. Let's do that again. Breathing into where that area is tight. Breathing into wherever it's itchy, whatever's happening in your body, breathe into that and release. Give yourself the opportunity to know that right now in this space, you are safe, you are okay. If you're able to do this exercise, listen to this exercise. You are okay. Say to yourself, I'm okay. A lot of things may come up when you say, I'm okay. And just let that be. Sit with it. You're okay. Even when it's hard. Breathe in into anywhere in your body that feels afraid, that feels stuck or angry or sadness, and release. Letting those emotions go out with your air. You're okay. I'm okay. I want you to remember that today, even as the day goes on and life begins to life around you. Remind yourself, I'm okay. I'm here. I can choose my thoughts. I can choose my feelings. I'm okay. I can choose my responses. I'm okay. Even when it's hard, I'm okay. And breathe that in. Allow it to be true for you. Allow it to be true for you. I'm okay. Smiling at yourself, seeing yourself okay, seeing yourself smile. I'm okay, even though I may be triggered, even though things may be coming up for me, and I'm okay, even though I'm still okay. I just want you to believe that for this time, for today, I'm okay. Deep breath in and exhale, your eyes open. Come back into this space and just give thanks to yourself for sitting with that story, sitting with your emotions, and trusting that you are okay. I love you. I like you. I am you. Bliss and juiciness.